We gotta wash our hair, Gizmo. Gizmo. Oh, it's charging. I was gonna say, this charger's not working, but yeah, it is. I'm about to have a fit for no reason. Okay, gosh. Let's see who is here. Phoenix, hey girl, beautiful magic. Monique, thank you for showing up. I love it when my moderators are here to watch the chat when I can't. Patricia Ortiz, Quanithia Watson, how are y'all doing? It is a rainy, cold day here in California. Hey Zara, it is a rainy, cold day here in California, um, and I'm not happy. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday, but yesterday I actually had to have two cortisone shots. I went in thinking it was just going to be one here in my thumb. I have what's called trigger finger, where the thumb like gets stuck or whatever. But I had to have two. I had one in the wrist here and one right there. I don't know if you guys can. No, the little thing kind of went away, but right there. And I just really was not, after that, I really wasn't in the mood to be, chit chatting. And because, I talk with my hands. So it's really hard for me not to move my hands. As a matter of fact, let me put this thing back on. So when I got home from that, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to um, rest. And that's what I did. Um, I'm really supposed to wear this thing more than I probably really do wear it. So that's what happened yesterday. Gizmo, you're gonna get your butt whooped. Don't do that again. So I'm back today. I'm here. Patricia said, "Happy Shango Day. Happy Shango Day." Yeah, it is. It's cold. It's starting to get cold, and this cold weather is not helping any of my medical conditions at all. Like my joints don't like the cold. This is like the time when people who like have problems with their joints, when it starts to get cold, it starts to snow and rain, it's damp and wet and cold and all that kind of stuff. That's when stuff starts to flare up. So if I ain't here, you know why. So let's get into this today. We're not going to do the Orishas today. I'm kind of switching things up, but this still is related to this is related to hoodoo, not voodoo. But all of this spiritual stuff ties into each other, and that I run my channel based on spirituality. So you may get orishas, you may get spells, you may get herbs, you may get crystals. It's just going to be a whole lot of good stuff. So if it's something that you're not interested in, just click. come back when I'm doing the Orishas. Okay? We ain't doing the Orishas today. So maybe come back tomorrow or whatever. But don't tell me what you came here for because this my show. Okay, we're not talking about that, Patricia. I'm not talking about cleansings and all of that kind of stuff. Stick with the topic. We talking about laying a trick. So let me talk about that. And I'm pretty sure I got videos about cleansings and spiritual baths. You might have to go look at one of those videos. Okay, so laying a trick is another reference to the throwing of special herbs, powders, and gree-grees in a place where the intended target will touch it, usually by walking on it. It also refers to the concealing or disposing of magical objects by strategically placing the ingredients in certain places in order to fix the trick or seal the deal. For example, if you want to keep your partner faithful, you could take a pair of your lover's dirty underwear. There's got to be somebody you close to be able to get their draws. Because you can't just get anybody's draws. Like, this your first time going on a date with somebody, you can't just sneak in their bedroom and get a pair of their drawers. So this is somebody that you're close to, child. Take a pair of your lover's dirty underwear and tie them in a knot and bury them in their backyard. If it is a enemy work, then bury the work in the person's yard or under their doorstep or porch or somewhere else they are inclined to walk. If it's a money spell, you can bury the spell in the yard of a bank, or you can get away with it in the yard of the treasury or the mint. Like if you know where, I think for the Bay Area, I think we have a mint here in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. But you can always use a bank. If you bank at Bank of America, you can put it there. If you are a gambler, bury it in a potted plant or in a garden yard of the casino. Following this train of thought, the same can be done for court case spells. Bury it in the courtyard. If it's a blessing, you can bury it in the church. If it's for success or whatever, you can bury it in the schoolyard. So, what this is saying is if you want to lay a trick on your lover, you can bury something that belongs to that person or however you want to do it. The easiest way to do it, this was a trick that I made for myself. These are healing herbs in here. I put what I wanted to heal on little pieces of paper. Now you see what this is. This is a pill bottle. And it was a bottle that medication belonged to me. I just tore the original sticker that had my name and the hospital name and all of that stuff off of it. I took that off. I cleaned it with some sage. I cleaned it with water first to get the peel residue out of there. I cleaned it with sage. While I'm cleaning with sage, I put my intention in here, what it's going to be used for. Then I wrote down my intentions, which is, that ain't y'all business, but just think about it. I wrote down my intentions, things that I want to be healed with in my body. Now, this is a physical spell. So this is dealing with my physical body. I wrote those things down on little pieces of paper. I don't want my herbs to fall out. Okay. I wrote them down on little pieces of paper. That's herbs kind of stuck to the little stickum. And I put them in here with different healing herbs. And I can smell the lavender. I know I put lavender in there, and holy hyssop, and no telling what other herbs are in here. I put the top on it, and I put this on my altar. So every now and then, I will walk past the altar. If I see it, I kind of, shake it up so that it keeps things moving in the spell. It is certain things that, I'm asking the spirits, hey, can you kind of pay attention to this? Because this is what's bothering me. Now, if you want some extra money, you can lay a trick that kind of way. You can write down what you need. You can put it in like a little small bag or whatever. You can put your herbs in there for, say, prosperity. Look up what herbs are good for prosperity. You can put your herbs in there, and if it's money, like you trying to get up enough money for a down payment for a car, you could write that down, put your herbs in there, put it in a little you can use like any type of little sachet bag or something that is easily compostable. When I bury things in the earth, I try to bury things that I know are compostable. Like I wouldn't bury this because it's a plastic bottle. When I, want to lay a trick somewhere, I will put it, you could put it in like a brown paper bag or something, because you know that the earth will absorb that. And of course, the earth is going to absorb herbs because herbs come from the earth anyway. So if you trying to get, a little bit of extra money, you can lay a trick at the bank. Write down what you need, put your little herbs there, and but you got to be careful laying a trick at the bank, because y'all know that the bank got cameras everywhere. I wouldn't try to bury it per se at the bank. What I would do is just, fold it up in a piece of paper with my herbs and be real slick with it and lay it down. And like, the bank always got some trees or flower, decorations or whatever. And, be real slick with it and just kind of, slide it next to the tree or whatever. Don't go to the bank at night thinking you about to be, oh, I got my hoodie on and you out at the bank digging a big old hole to lay a trick that's this big. And then before you know it, Popo rolling up on you with their guns out and stuff. And you out there trying to do some hoodoo and go to jail. And then when you get out of jail, you gonna come back to the channel and be like, I went to jail following some old mess. I ain't tell you to do that. I ain't tell you to be out to go to the bank with a shovel and a pick and a backhoe and all that. I ain't tell you to do that. And I'm telling you now, don't do that. You got to be slick with it. And don't get caught at your boyfriend's house stealing his drawers either. Now, if you want to lay a trick on your boyfriend, you got to be slick with it. You can't be, going all in his house, rambling through all of his clothes and stuff. No, you got to be slick. You got to wait until you done been invited to stay the night, and then you get something that belong to him. You don't have to get drawers. You can get a shirt. You can get an undershirt. You can get their socks. You can get anything. Just get something that belongs to the person. And if you can't do that, take a picture of the person. It's easy to get a picture of anybody. You can go to somebody's Facebook page and print out one of their pictures. Now, you don't have to have something that physically belongs to the person. It is good if you can get something that physically belongs to the person, because that would make the situation stronger, because you have something that is physically tied to that person. But if you don't, trust and believe, get their picture, okay? Take one of their pictures off of Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Because all y'all crazy people out here talking about, oh, well, I don't believe in that. And if you don't believe in it, it ain't going to work. You a lie. I don't believe how planes can fly, but they still doing it. They still take off and fly and land. And in my mind, I can't fathom how it happens, but it still does. So don't let no. You had a timer set, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should have told me. I'd have took it out.
I'm sorry, Smina. That's all right. I
Oh,
thought I'd be out of here in time, but that's
oh,
cool.
oh! It didn't burn, did it?
Nah, not really.
Oh, okay. So don't let people tell you, oh well, I don't believe somebody could. Oh no! If you set the right intentions, you can get it. Okay. So if Jody playing around with you, yeah, lay a trick for Jody. I'm all for it. I am. Go to his house, steal one of his socks. Most people don't have matching socks anyway. He ain't gonna miss it. He gonna think he left it at the laundromat anyway. Y'all know men can't keep up with stuff.
Babe, you see my
So
socks?
see, don't worry, baby. I had to take one of your socks and lay a trick for you. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I'll buy you another one.
That's
See
all
how
good.
easy that was? Buy him another one. He ain't gonna miss that sock anyway, girl. Go on and get that sock, okay? Or get them drawers. He ain't gonna know. He is not gonna know.
Don't get the ones with the racing stripes now.
Oh no, if it's got old. But you know what? The racing stripe gives it a little bit more DNA. We know the racing stripe gives it a little bit more energy. It's got actual. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. And don't be out here thinking, oh well, if I gotta do all that, it ain't worth it. The Bible say faith without works is dead. You got to work. You can't just be sitting here thinking that a man is just gonna fall out the sky. Sometimes you gotta do a little bit of work to get him. He ain't just gonna knock on your door. Even though that did happen to my friend, she, but see, she was a child of Oshun. So she was looking for a man. She had been, throwing the bait out there. And the cable man, she had just moved into a new apartment. And the cable man came to her house to install her cable. And honey, he never left.
But
After
you
he
did
came
install
to
that
her
cable.
house and installed her cable, he came back over later on that night and they been
Install more
together.
cable.
Okay. He was hooking up all kind of cable, child. He had cable coming out of everywhere.
She got
And
HBO,
yeah,
Showtime.
they so yeah, sometimes they do just knock on your door, but if it's not working like that, sometimes you gotta do a little bit of work. And it ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't let nobody tell you that there's something wrong with trying to get something for yourself. Okay, so let's see what else it says. A common place for land tricks is in construction sites because the tricks will last forever, or at least as long as the building is standing. Bank construction sites are good for attracting money. Courthouse sites are good for keeping the law away. Hospitals and doctors' offices are good for healing. And church sites are good for protection. So if a building is going up in your area, go on out there, honey, and throw a trick somewhere. where they will build on top of it. And I know that that's kind of hard to do because a lot of construction sites now have 24-hour security. Not only do they have security, they have like cameras on site because a lot of people, go into these sites and do bad stuff. But if you can get to it, then yeah, that would be a really good thing to do, especially like a bank or like a church or something like that. Okay, so it says to bless a home, it is good for a trick to be laid inside of a chimney. That's interesting. I don't have a chimney. So it says when you want to attract love, luck, fertility, or success, bury a trick in a garden in the spring and summertime or in a potted plant anytime. A trick to work against someone else can also be planted in the person's garden or in a potted plant at their place of residence. And I think I have a video about placing a trick in a potted plant. I had one, but I can't find it. I don't know if I released it to the universe. I might have because I probably got tired of looking at it. But maybe we'll do another one of those, how to um, put one in a potted plant. But that would be a good thing also. You could lay a trick like in the person that you like in their front yard or in their yard somewhere. Give them a potted plant. You can give somebody a plant with a trick in it as a present. That way, your energy will always be in their house. Like a uh give your boyfriend a plant with a trick laid in it. Say for instance, oh Jody, I bought you this plant for because you need some good energy around you. Jody not knowing that you didn't put a trick in here to draw him closer to you, a magnet for you and him, and to kick anybody else out that come in the house. Okay? So you put a double trick in that for him. For him to only get close to you, and if anybody else come in that house, they gonna see the opposite side of that door. So what you do is you pull out the plant, okay? Leave a little bit of dirt left in here. You put your trick in this part of it. Jody ain't gonna never repot that plant because a man will let a plant die before he repot it. Okay? So 6 months or whatever, you tell Jody, "Ooh, look like your baby," and you make sure when you come over there, you water that plant so it keeps growing. Now you got to keep it alive, okay? You water that plant so it keep growing. 6 months, 8 months, repot it, put it in a bigger pot, and make sure your trick is still in there. And if it's then dissolved a little bit, add a little bit more to it. What William McCray say? Before I take it back, I add something to it. Add a little bit more to it. Okay. I'm trying to help y'all. I got a husband. Let me see what some of these comments say. I hope I ain't got to kick nobody out this. Y'all know I love to say Jody. Oh, Essie here. Where you been, Essie? It's gone buffer Phyllis. Cupcake 701 say get them draws. You better get them draws, girl. Oh, you like my shirt, Phyllis? Motor Mouth Afro Kid. Hey. Okay. Let's see. What other ones do they have? So they already said you could. Oh, here go one that you could put under the carpet or a rug. This is reflective of adapting hoodoo to modern times. When you don't have a yard to work with, because some people don't, have like because we don't really have a yard, but I do have my, but I do have my plants or my porch. So it says when you don't have a yard to work with, the same principle can be employed by placing a trick under someone's rug or carpet. Now that's a little tricky because people do move their rugs around to clean them. So that one will be a little bit tricky. I don't really know how could lay a trick under somebody's rug unless they one of them people that don't clean up that often. They ain't gonna never vacuum the rug or ain't gonna never take the rug outside to beat it or nothing. Then you can do it. Or say for instance, you're spending the night at Jody's house for the weekend. You could lay a trick under Jody's rug or whatever for that weekend, and then when you get ready to go home, you can take it with you. You will think of things when you really want to do it. You'll think of how to do it. Okay?
Where there's a will.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Now, if you want Jody, you better lay a trick on him. If Jody just, Jody like you, but he just ain't kind of moving fast enough for you, I don't put it on him. Okay, and here's one for your enemy. Bury it under your enemy's doorstep or porch. Now, this is to heck somebody. This is somebody that is still buffering. I don't know. Plus, y'all know the weather bad. So you just going to have to deal with this buffering. Is it still buffering? Because it's not buffering on my end. It's not buffering right now to me. It says place a trick under their doorstep or front porch. Now, where is that lady that her neighbor was bothering her? Who was that the neighbor had threw some piss on her porch? There you go right there. Because I told you, I'd have been through something on her. She wouldn't have, honey, when I got finished with her, she'd have been scared for urine to come out of her own body. Oh, okay, Zara. Well, there you go. It say right there to throw it up under their porch or their doorstop. So maybe that's what the lady was trying to do to you. She done threw some piss on your porch. She was probably trying to lay a trick for you. Could have been, girl. Yeah, she out here throwing piss on the woman. Okay, now this one, I used to hear about this a lot. This is the one where you place something in someone's food or their drink. Now, it's always been said that women in Louisiana have put stuff in men's food. I don't condone this. Like, this is not my thing, but it does exist. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, this method is typically employed in domination spells to keep a mate faithful or in enemy work. Listen to this. Scrape some skin from the bottom of your foot and bake it in some food that will be eaten by someone you wish to dominate or jinx. I can't even imagine that.
Ooh, baby, you put your foot in it, didn't you?
Literally. But no, this is the one that I've always heard. Add semen or menstrual blood to your lover's food or drink to keep them bound to you.
I've heard that one.
I've heard that.
I've heard that one.
Women in my mother used to say that if you're familiar with the Six Sisters in Louisiana, they were supposed to be some really famous root workers. My mother said people will come from far and near to go to the Six Sisters to get, and then, they would tell them how to fix their menstrual blood to put it in their lover's food. Now, I ain't about to go that deep. I'm really not. If I got to do that to you, if I have to get to that point, I don't want you. I don't. I'm not going to go that far. Because to me, that's just gross. I don't believe, I mean, it's not gross because it is done. But I just can't do that. I don't believe in putting anything in people's food or drink. Like, I don't care about you putting something outside of somebody's house or under their porch or in their bathroom or under their pillow or anything like that. But putting stuff in their food or drink, that's just not my thing. But trust and believe, people, there are people out there that will do that. Okay? It's people out there that don't care. They will do it. They have done it. And they will continue to do that. Because it is part of the hoodoo tradition. Whether you like it or not. I mean, it's not part of what I would do to lay a trick for somebody, but it is done. And it's real. And it's been done for years. This ain't no new stuff. Hoodoo is something that people was using what they had. So blood and semen and fingernails and blood and semen and fingernails and toenails and skin scraped off the bottom of your feet and pieces of your hair, whatever they could get from you, they would use in a spell. That's why my mama would always tell me, be careful with your hair. Don't, be leaving your brushes out when you go to people's house. Be careful with your sanitary pads and all that. Because there's some people out here that know some stuff and will do it. They will. There's people out here looking to do that. Yeah, they'll burn your hair. They'll do anything. They'll burn your hair. They'll put your hair in a bird's nest. Because my mom used to always say, if somebody gets your hair and put it in a bird's nest, it'll drive you crazy. So I was always careful with my hair. That's one thing I didn't play. Yeah, I don't eat everybody's cooking now. So you got to be careful because it really is people out here that will do anything. Quinethia said, I always heard don't cry while you're cooking. Folks will eat your pain. Okay, love you.
Love you.
Call me later. Yeah, I ain't never heard that one. But you do want to be, you don't. I mean, that does make sense. You don't want to cook while you're upset and crying and stuff because you're putting all of that negative energy into your food. That makes good sense. It really does if you really think about it. When you're cooking, you should be in a good mood. You should be happy. There is a dog hair on my eyelashes. You should be happy and in a good mood. No one wants to eat food and you all crying and mad and tripping and stuff. That makes sense. You know, our parents and grandparents told us things because that was stuff that was passed down to them and they believed it. My mom knew a lady in Mississippi who used to scrape the skin from the bottom of her feet. The lady would also put her used sanitary pads in the container where she kept the flour in the kitchen. Okay. I cook for a living, and if I have to cry, you have to cry and get on with it. Yeah, but just don't cry over the food, is what they're saying. Don't cry over what you're cooking. Can't cancel jobs because you're upset. Yeah, you can. I mean, I don't want to know that the person who made my muffin is mad at their husband and having a bad day and put that negative energy into what they're cooking. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can have a bad day, but don't do it over my food. Don't do it over what you're cooking for me. Go to the bathroom or go to the break room and have a cry and then go back to, doing what you're doing. I don't want nobody that's mad and arguing and fussing and fighting, fixing my food. I just don't want it. That's why you have to be careful how much you eat out anyway, because people are putting their energy into what they're fixing for you. And I just don't want to be eating stuff from people that's having a bad day. I don't want your negative energy. I don't want you to be crying over my food. I don't want you to be cussing somebody out and then hand me my food. No. I don't want that type of energy over something that I'm putting in my body. I don't want it. Yeah, and I think that's what you should be doing. Like when you fixing food for somebody else, your energy should be going towards fixing that food and staying in a positive frame of mind where you're thinking, okay, I just want to make sure that this cake rises the right way. I don't want to burn it. Like, I don't care about you thinking about it like that, but I don't want you to be like, oh, I can't stand Jody. I can't wait till I get home as you stirring up the batter because I'm going to kill him when I get home. No, I don't want that negative energy in my food. I want you to be thinking about, oh, I can't wait till I get home with Jody because I'm going to throw it on him. Now, that's cool, but kill him? No. I don't want no energy from nobody that's mad and upset and having a bad day and cussing people out over my food. I just would rather that not happen. I would. Oh, he said y'all love is beautiful. Yeah, y'all see the good. I mean, we good. You know what I mean? We are good people. That's just how we are. Period. My husband don't disrespect me. I don't disrespect him. We live in an extremely peaceful home, and we try to keep it that way. And I believe that's how you keep it that way. You respect the person respects you. We have certain policies that we stand by when it comes to relationships. We don't scream at each other. We don't curse at each other. There's no screaming and cursing in this house. That's just how we choose to live. And I think when you choose to live like that and both parties understand that, then yeah, you have a good relationship. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not. I will go to the room and close the door. I will lock you out before I argue with you. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to argue with the person that I live with. I have to live with him. I have to see him every day. So it don't make no sense for me to argue, with him. We got 3 bedrooms, but I still can't get away from him. So No, we're not even gonna do that. And we said that before we got married, and we have stuck to that. So this is interesting. It says to neutralize a jinx, burn it in a fire and spread the ashes around a tree. For example, to cause harm to your enemy, burn a bad wish written on paper in a fire and spread the ashes around their doorstep or porch. Prayers as well. Wishes can also be accomplished in the same manner. Burn a special prayer in a fire and scatter the ashes near the home for special blessings. So if you're trying to bless somebody, you can do that. You can, write down your blessing and burn it and sprinkle it on their porch. Or if you want to curse somebody, you can do the same thing. But see, if I'm cursing somebody, it's not just going to be the wish that I burn up. You can always burn up the wish in some ashes and take some dog cat poop and throw that in there with that and then throw that on the person's porch so that they know you serious. You're gonna add a little dog or cat poop in there for dramatical purposes so they know that you ain't playing with them. Because, see, if they see the ashes, they might just think, oh, well, something flew on my porch. No, you see some ashes and some dog or cat poop, you gonna know. No, somebody did that on purpose. Yeah, I try to have a good time too when I'm cooking. Okay, it says for love spells, money spells, protection spells, and court cases, mojos are often sewn into clothes, curtains, pillowcases, and mattresses. If you want to go through all that. So, to dispose of ritual remains such as candle wax, ashes from incense, or the like, leave them at a crossroads. Bad luck tricks can also be disposed of in the middle of a crossroad where cars will run over them and destroy them. Tossing coins in the middle of the crossroad is considered good luck. So if you have a bad trick and you have used it and you want to get rid of it, you can just throw it in the middle of the street in a crossroad. So that's like is it four-way intersection? Where cars come this way or this way? Yeah. Uh, two-way? Two-way. I don't know, child. Well, when cars can come this way or this way. Uh, Let me draw it. Because y'all she is making absolutely no sense right now. Oh, I got a pen in here. How my chains don't fall out of there? Like this. That's like the intersection. The street. So cars can go this way and cars can come this way. So you throw it in the middle. So cars will run over it. Put it in a piece of paper, wrap it up, and just throw it in the middle of the street with some change. And just let the cars run over it and destroy it. Four-way. Thank you. Y'all know what I was talking about. Okay, here's an interesting one. To bury something in the graveyard. Ritual objects used in extreme magic, like causing serious illness or death, can be buried in the graveyard. Now I'm gonna say this: the graveyard thing is shown in a lot of books. I am not going to recommend that people play around in the graveyard if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know how to leave an offering in the graveyard for Oya, I really would not recommend you doing that. Do something simple before you jump up to um, throwing stuff in the graveyard. Placed in a tree. Trees are believed to absorb negativity and evil. So, bad works are often buried at the base of trees to neutralize them. And some trees are, like weeping willows. It's always said that if you're in a situation that, is causing you a lot of pain and hurt, um, say for instance, Jody really don't want you, and you found out that Jody don't want you, and you have really accepted the fact that Jody don't want you and you are ready to move on, you can go to a weeping willow tree and give the weeping willow all of that energy because they absorb that type of pain. There's some kind of story about the weeping willow, but I can't remember it. But a weeping willow because the all of the leaves like hang down like that, like the tree. It kind of looks like the tree is crying. The leaves hang down like it has a little kind of sad look to it, like the if you're sad and crying and hurt and in pain, emotional pain, you can always go to the weeping willow and and I think the weeping willow is supposed to be a feminine tree, if I'm not mistaken, but you can look it up, child. Um, you can go to the weeping willow and give her your um pain. We about to go in a minute. 5 more minutes. Um, so do y'all have any questions? Because did you get it? Did you get comfortable? Huh? Damn. Do y'all have any questions? I'm sorry, Shamar. You're gonna have to go back and watch the replay, sweetie. Motormouth Afro Kid said, I stopped doing love spells on guys a long time ago because I had to realize they didn't give a damn about me and I had to look for someone who's going to love me genuinely. Well, that don't have nothing to do with you doing spells. Maybe you was just doing spells on the wrong people. There's millions of people in this world. That don't stop you from doing spells because you ran into a couple of bad apples. I've brought fruit home from the store and get it home and realize one of the lemons is bad. It has already went bad. I take that one away. I take it out and throw that one away and check the rest of them. But that's not gonna make me stop eating lemons because I got one bad lemon. You keep going until you find a good one. You don't give up and think, "Oh, I can't do that no more because it didn't work on these people, so it ain't gonna work on nobody." No, that never going to be my thought process. Just because it didn't work that time, don't mean it ain't never gonna work. You gotta change your thinking, sweetie, because it's gonna work on the person that it's supposed to work on. The ones that ain't supposed to work on, it ain't gonna work on. What would be a good spell to write down and bury in plants? It says, like a love spell would be good because you're watching that situation grow. Anything you want to watch grow. So a love spell would be really good. And then if you, money would be real good because you want your pockets to keep getting fatter. You want that situation to grow. So any of those things that you want to watch good, want to watch grow, would be good to put in a plant. But you gotta water it. You can't let it die. You can't just, put your trick in there and forget about it, not giving any water, not giving any attention, not give it any sun or light. That's just like a relationship. You can't just expect your relationship to grow just because you want it to. Me and my husband work at this relationship thing every day. I never take him for granted. He never takes me for granted. We are constantly working on our marriage. Our marriage is like a plant. If you don't give it enough sun, you don't give it enough water, it's going to die. If we don't give our relationship attention, we don't give each other attention, we don't love each other, I don't tell my husband how much I love him and I appreciate him and how special he is and how handsome he is, then the relationship will start to wither. I'm constantly telling him how much I love him. He's constantly telling me how much he loves me and how special I am. Even when I'm not doing anything special, he still tells me that I'm special. Even when I gain weight, he still tells me that I'm beautiful. When he gains weight, I still tell him that he is handsome because I don't put a number on the scale of how I want him to look because the outside is nothing. It's what a person possesses on the inside that is important. How will that person treat you? Because you could be the most beautiful person and have the most beautiful body and have the most shittiest attitude about other people and life. If you have no compassion for other people, I can't be with you. Why would I? I don't want nobody that don't have compassion for other people. Just see theyself and they're living in a narcissistic world of I'm so beautiful and everybody in this world should take care of me. No, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I hope I meet Mr. Right in 2020. You will. Put that out there in the universe. Put that out there in the universe that is your top thing for the year. You want to meet Mr. Right. But don't go into the universe, don't go into 2020 saying, I don't want 2020 to be like 2019 because 2019 wasn't nothing. I mean, I'm seeing so many posts already about how scandalous 2019 was, how horrible 2019 was, how many people died in 2019. 2019 was effed up. I hope 2020 be better. It's not because you didn't see anything good in this year. So you won't see anything good in next year. People die every year. Every year people die. Not more people died in 2019 than 2018. It may seem like it, but it's not. We're constantly dying. We're constantly dying. People are going to die. Somebody's grandma gonna die. Somebody's mama gonna die. Somebody's auntie gonna die. Somebody's cousin gonna die. That's part of life. So you don't go into 2020 saying, I don't want it to be nothing like 2019. I hated 2019. Well, you're already drawing that negative energy. You go into 2020 saying the things that you want. Call it into existence. This is what I want to happen. I want to meet Mr. Right. I want to graduate from college. I want to start a business. I want to buy a car. I want to get my driver's license. Jesus, help me get my driver's license. God, dog. That's how you do that. people that don't see anything positive in the world. Yes, Phoenix, you can do love spells to make yourself more desirable, to fix your attitude. Fix your attitude before you try to. And that's one thing I tell people. Fix your attitude before you get out here trying to attract somebody to you. Because if you're trying to attract somebody to you and you're an extremely negative person, ain't nobody gonna want to love you. Because your attitude is not right. So, yes, make yourself more desirable. And I'm not talking about physically desirable because it don't take nothing to go and, put your makeup on and put on a new outfit. I'm talking about spiritually more desirable. Make me a more positive person. Let me attract love. Let me throw out love so that love can come back to me. You have to. If you don't do that, it's not gonna happen. It ain't. It's not gonna come to you if you jacked up. If your mind not right, love is not gonna come to you. I start out every year with that little jar. You supposed to put the little positive things in there, child. But before February, I didn't forgot to put. I think my jar got like three things. It's got like some movie ticket stubs. But wait a minute. I looked at my little container, right? And it's got like some movie ticket stubs and $1. And I'm like, why would I put $1 in there? I didn't even put a note on the dollar or nothing. And this had to have been like, the 1st of January. So I have no idea why that dollar is in there. So I just left the dollar in there. I won't spend it. I don't know what it's for. I be starting out with all of these good intentions for the year to do something different because I was really hoping by the end of the year I would have like this jar full of memories that I can go back and look at. And it's like three things in there. So, yeah, I mean, that would be something cute to do if you could keep up with it. But I start so many things, projects at the beginning of the year, by the end of the year, child, I just got 11 dozen projects that I started and didn't finish because, I got that ADD stuff. But I like starting stuff. I just, don't always, I don't always finish it. But I think the joy is in the starting. You don't have to finish everything. You don't. Sometimes you're not. And I'm not gonna beat myself up for not finishing, certain projects. And sometimes I may go back and be like, oh, I remember when I started this and I may finish it towards the end of the year or whatever. But yeah, write down things, positive affirmations, put them where you can see them, put them in your journal. That's a way of helping yourself to be more positive. Like, they have all of these books with affirmations and, quotes of the day, affirmations of the day, and all of that kind of stuff. Those things make you more positive in the long run, also. And stop looking at a lot of negativity. Like, sometimes I find myself just having to get away from all of the negativity on YouTube that I have a tendency to fall in the rabbit hole of, because I we don't argue. And so the only time I really see people arguing is on TV or YouTube. And sometimes that stuff is funny to me because I'm thinking to myself, oh, I am so glad that I'm not living like that. I really am. Yeah, you want every year to be better. Well, it couldn't have beat you up too bad. You still in one piece. You didn't get beat up. Everybody learns lessons every year. You should be learning. You should be learning. You didn't get beat up. You still in one piece. I mean, it's going to be ups and downs in every year. That is normal for everybody. Every year in my life ain't been on no up. I have issues too. Some lessons have been tougher than others. And those tough lessons, I probably needed them. They made me a stronger person. I can't say that I've been beat up in any lesson. As long as I survived, I walked into 2019. I wasn't pushed in a wheelchair. I made it. I stepped into 2019 with my own feet, and I plan on, if it's the Lord's will, to step into 2020. I didn't get beat up. Did I learn some lessons? Yes. And I value those lessons. But I didn't get beat up. Not one time have I been knocked out. Now, I didn't have some valuable lessons, but I'm like a cat. I always seem to land on my feet. And you have to too. You ain't been beat up yet, child. You still young. Life ain't even had a chance to beat you up yet. You ain't had no kids. You haven't been married. That's when relationships, like long-term relationships, are when you're really put to a test. If you haven't been in a situation where you've been in a long-term if you haven't been in a situation where you've been in a long-term relationship, and I don't mean a relationship that's been like a year. A year is not a long-term relationship. A long-term relationship is over 4 or 5 years. You've been in a relationship like that. You've been in a marriage. You've had kids. That's the type of stuff that tests you. If you ain't even been there yet, you ain't been close to being beat up. Not even close. Because paying bills and going to school and still living up under your mama's roof or paying rent for the first time, that's not beat up. That's nowhere near beat up. You ain't had beat up. I done had kids, grandkids, too. This my second husband. This my third dog. I done had cats, birds, all kind of things. Did I wake you up? Huh? You heard somebody barking? They outside, poo-poo. Don't worry about it. They not gonna come in here. So you ain't been beat up, baby. You still young. I'm finna go, y'all. I gotta get ready for TMZ. I gotta be nosy and see what's going on with Cardi B and Offset. Y'all know I'm nosy. Look like Cardi B and Offset have been caught up in some mess, and I gotta see what TMZ say. TMZ be having all of the they be having all the drama. So I want to see what they say about it, because I was looking at it last night and it was kind of looking like Offset. Like maybe he did get hacked, but who knows? But y'all know TMZ know. Oh, maybe I'll do a video about that. About writing out your intentions for the new year. I done had many cats, child, before I found out I was allergic to cats. I'm allergic to cats now, so I'm not going to have no more cats. So from now on, it's just going to be dogs. I do want another dog when we move into a bigger place, but for now, it's just Gizmo. Hi, Pookie Wookie. Hi, Pookie. So I hope y'all enjoyed the lesson. Tomorrow, maybe we will go back to go this way. Go this way. Go see. Okay, go this way. Tomorrow, maybe we'll go back to talking about the Orishas. Who knows? Depends on what I want to talk about. I'm going to go take my medicine and relax for a little while. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Thanks for coming by, and I appreciate all of the comments. If I missed something, send me an email and I will answer it there. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.